the vast wilderness of southern Africa, two lions, a male and a female, roamed the open fields. For years they had lived freely, hunting together and traversing the expansive grasslands. But as the climate shifted, water sources began to dry up and prey became more elusive. Life had grown increasingly difficult, and the lions knew they had to leave their old territory behind in search of a safer place. Their journey took them across hundreds of miles, facing hunger and perilous encounters with other predators. Despite the hardships, the male lion stood vigil each night, while the female lion rested, regaining her strength for the challenges ahead. After weeks of travel, they followed the scent of fresh water and wildlife, which led them to Makhado National Park. This park, known as one of the largest reserves in South Africa, was rich in diverse ecosystems and vast grasslands. As soon as they arrived, the lions began sniffing around to assess their new surroundings. They noticed patrol cars, guard posts and fences, though they didn't fully understand their purpose. At the same time, two staff members at Makhado National Park, Sipho and Nomsa, noticed unusual footprints near the central river. Sipho, an experienced patrol driver, often checked the conditions of the reserve, while Nomsa, a keen observer of animals, carefully documented any changes in the reserve's wildlife. When they saw the lion tracks, they decided to keep a watchful eye on the newcomers, concerned for their safety and well-being. In the early days, the male lion's deep roars echoed through the night as he marked his territory. The female lion appeared, uneasy, unfamiliar with the new environment. At times, she moved restlessly, unable to find peace. Sipho and Nomsa, though concerned, were excited. They could see the lions were still strong enough to hunt small prey like antelopes and hares, though there was a suspicion that the female lion might be pregnant. After several months, the signs became undeniable. The female lion's belly grew larger, and her gait slowed, confirming the suspicion that she was expecting. Sipho prepared medical equipment just in case an emergency arose, while Nomsa kept a close watch on the lioness, recording her behavior and health. The moment of truth came when the female lion struggled to give birth. For 2 long days, she writhed. In pain, her body racked with contractions. The male lion paced anxiously, hovering close to his mate, clearly distressed. Sipho and Nomsa realized that immediate intervention was necessary, or they might lose the lioness. However, the situation was complicated. Anesthesia was not an option due to the female lion's imminent birth, and tranquilizing the male lion was out of the question, as it might provoke the female into attacking or fleeing. In a moment of clear thinking, Sipho and Nomsa decided to act on their instincts. They carefully approached the pair, being mindful of the male lion's protective instincts. As they neared, the male lion roared loudly, his fur bristling in defensive posture. The lioness, however, was too exhausted to move. Nomsa whispered to Sipho that they had no choice but to move forward. They had to intervene now. Slowly, Sipho stepped out of the vehicle, keeping a watchful eye on the male lion, while Nomsa followed closely, holding medical equipment, including an injection to assist with the birthing process. The two humans stood in the midst of the vast savanna, closer than ever to these majestic creatures. The male lion stepped forward, growling softly but not lunging. It was as if he sensed their intentions were not hostile. Nomsa, speaking in a gentle tone, began to reassure the lioness, trying to calm her. Slowly, the lioness's tense eyes softened, and she allowed Nomsa to approach her belly. Nomsa administered the birth aid injection, hoping it would give the lioness the strength she needed. For nearly 2 hours, the lioness endured intense contractions. Finally, the first lion cub was born, weak but alive. The male lion gently approached, licking the cub, while the lioness, panting and exhausted, gazed at her newborn with pride. Sipho let out a quiet cheer as the cub weakly cried out. Nomsa quickly checked to ensure the cub was healthy and free from any deformities. She administered another dose of tonic to help the lioness recover. The male lion turned toward the humans, offering a silent but powerful gesture of gratitude. Sipho and Nomsa stepped back, giving the lion family their space. The lion cub struggled on the ground, but seemed to be doing well in its mother's care. The female lion licked her cub, softly purring as she welcomed the new life. As the two staff members sat in their vehicle, watching the quiet, sacred moment unfold, they knew that their intervention had saved a precious life. They decided to name the lions: Koda, the male, representing bravery; Leya, the female, symbolizing hope; and Mosi, the cub, meaning new beginning. After making sure that Leya was stable, Sipho drove the vehicle away, while Nomsa gazed back at the lion family. The car moved slowly, leaving the lions to enjoy their moment of peace in the wind-swept savannah. On their way back to the station, Nomsa wiped a tear from her eye, her heart full of pride. Sipho smiled, knowing that this would be an unforgettable memory in their careers. News of Leya's safe birth quickly spread throughout the reserve, and everyone was overjoyed. The following day, while on their patrol, Sipho and Nomsa saw Koda and Leya standing on a grassy slope, looking toward the vehicle. Mosi, still too young to keep up with his parents, trotted beside his mother, occasionally glancing up curiously. Koda, once defensive, no longer growled at the sight of humans. It seemed that trust had been established between the lions and the park staff. Nomsa believed that Koda's family would thrive under the protection of Makhado Reserve. Sipho made a note in his journal, marking Mosi's birth as a significant milestone. The story of Koda, Leya, and Mosi became a symbol of the deep bond that can form between humans and the wild. Each time the patrol car passed, the lion family would turn their heads, silently acknowledging the humans who had helped them. Koda's soft growls, Leya's gentle licks on Mosi, and Mosi's steady growth filled the Makhado Reserve with pride. Sipho and Nomsa continued their work, but the memory of saving Leya would always be with them. Years passed and Mosi grew stronger, learning to hunt alongside his mother and asserting his territory with his father. Koda remained a majestic figure, always by Leya's side, while Leya, resilient as ever, continued to guide her cub with love and care. As dawn broke over the savannah, the lion family appeared peaceful and content. Whenever Koda heard the sound of Sipho and Nomsa's vehicle, he would glance at it, then return to his duties. Nomsa would smile, remembering the difficult journey the lions had taken. Sipho, too, appreciated the trust the lions had developed, despite the boundaries between humans and nature. Thanks to their efforts, a life had been saved, and a family was intact. The story spread throughout the reserve, inspiring countless young people who had a deep love for wildlife. The future was uncertain, but the belief that faith and courage could help humans and nature coexist filled the hearts of all those who worked to preserve the wild. As the sun set, Koda's roar echoed across the land, a reminder of the trials they had overcome. Leya continued to care for Mosi, nurturing the new life with love and hope. Sipho and Nomsa returned to the sanctuary that evening, hearts full of joy and satisfaction, knowing that whenever they returned, the lion family would still be there, waiting with familiar eyes. The night wind blew through the savannah, carrying the scent of wild grass and the echoes of the wild. Above, the stars twinkled, lighting the path that Sipho and Nomsa had traveled. There, in the warmth of the African night, Mosi slept peacefully, nestled in his mother's arms, while Koda stood guard, ensuring that no danger would harm his family. And so as the Makhado National Park staff left the reserve, they knew that the story of Koda, Leya and Mosi would live on as a testament to the extraordinary bond between humans and the wild.